with an amendment. That is why Chief Awolowo refused to attend the constitutional conference set up by them. But I blame him for participating in the 79 election, because that is where we slipped, and we have not been able to interrogate it. Rather, the military, through conspiratorial theory, decided to hoist an American constitution which is alien, which would deny the Igbos opportunity of participating in Nigerian politics. And the Igbo politicians were not able to capture that conspiracy. The next issue was when we now formed government. Azikiwe was in NPP, and he was able to negotiate power with the NPN in power. We had the Speaker of the Parliament, and our neighbor, the man who fought the war with us, was the Senate President. But all we were doing was not a program of PDP and NPN and NPP being married for implementation, but they were sharing offices. It was short-sightedness of the Igbo politicians. And this is what has led us where we are today. That we thought that the only way you participate in government is when you become minister or you become commissioner. We lost it there.
Well, let us take a look at 2023 from now. If you become the governor of Anambra State come January 2018.
March.
Sorry, March. Thank you very much. March 2018. What do you think Anambra would look like 4 years after?
The first thing Anambra will look at is that Anambra will have a team, because I will reorganize the leadership. Leadership will be based on talents. Harnessing, instead of our competing inside, we bring and complement each other. Without a team, you're not going anywhere. You must, even when we were in school, in secondary school, you don't compete to be senior prefect. It's your record that throws you up. And you build a team. The labor prefect, the dormitory prefects, and the rest of them are selected because of their record. There are people who, at all material time, you can always count on them. Today, who are those in politics in Anambra State? There are those we don't even know what they are in politics for. They come back and bring keke na pepe to my people and tell them they brought them democracy dividend. That is not politics. Politics is about ideas and programs. When you collapse your party or your ambition into another person, you are going to get into the platform with a program that will develop your people, give them a competing edge. Not for you to go and bring 3 commissioners, 2 commissioners. So we are just sharing booty and not growing the country. So one thing I will give Anambra is to give them leadership, the best brand.
Leadership. And what is your view about infrastructure? It is obvious that erosion is a menace. Flooding is nothing we can ignore, because many bridges, farms have been eroded courtesy of our unfriendly flooding. How would you plan to tackle the issue of infrastructure, which Anambra is very well not benefiting fully from?
Let's look at infrastructure. What do you call infrastructure? Infrastructure has also a soft side, software in infrastructure. The greatest thing we need here is law and order. We lack law and order. 80% of the erosion problem, maybe I'm in a better position because I'm an environmentalist. 80% of the erosion problem in Anambra State is self-induced. Road construction, the way we build our houses, and how we have been able to maintain our compounds. We are not the first people. We don't have avalanche here. We don't have hurricane. We don't have winds. We have not been able to grow enough trees. We have not been able to look at the road network that even our forefathers were using. They used a contour of how to maintain and run. They stayed away from the gully-prone area and collected water in some places. The rain falls 7 months in a year, and we dig boreholes to supply our people water. In Anambra State, we have about 170 to maybe between 160 and 170 water scheme. None is working. Everybody is doing borehole because the governors for the last 12 years have no vision, and they have refused to recruit good men that give them better idea. Look at the River Niger. What have we done with it? Nothing. We can't even use it to do agriculture. We are not going to compete with the North about dams, but we can use engineering development to overtake and dominate our environment. Look at the erosion issues here. Each time I see the governors and those in office talking about how many billions of dollars they need to fight erosion, I laugh. Because they're not thinking. What have you done for yourself? We have the best minds in our university. The university, they are not doing anything. Look at the engineering faculty. We have good engineers. We have good surveyors. We have good geologists. We have not been able to dominate that. Can't we use those erosion sites as silos and reclaim the land? Over 30% of our land is prone by erosion. Not only in Nanka area, but look at around you, Nnewi, Obosi, and the rest of them. All they are doing is doing gutter. I just laugh. Look at the type of roofing we do here. And you don't look at the velocity of the water coming down, digging up everywhere. There's no grass. Everybody is putting interlock and diverting the water to the road without thinking where it will end. Why can't we harness all these water that you usually get when the rain falls, which we now call in our place here we say Ide, that we call Ide. So where that stream of water comes, where does it end? We don't know. Look at all the small back streams. We've lost them. Is it the Americans that will come and do it? Because the leaders have refused to grow new leaders, those with ideas, how we can dominate our environment. And Anambra has one critical problem of land management. Land management. In the next 20 years, land will be an issue in Anambra State. Nobody is planting anything. Go around your places, all you see is yellow bush. Who are those in agriculture in Anambra State? Nobody. There's not even a plot of land where you can see cassava planted anywhere. And everybody is talking agriculture. Oranges and the rest of them. Before, when I was growing up, you go to the village and you're coming back from the village, they give you oranges, give you banana, give you plantain. Now, when you're going to the village, they even give you bread. So everything is on the reverse. Because look at our urbanization. Look, go to Onitsha, go to all these, Enugu, go to all these dumps. Nnewi is now another dungeon. Industrialization, our government are not thinking. They are leaving businessmen to develop business, think about how to even put it on the ground without any assistance. In terms of sports, two gentlemen, Ifeanyi Okonkwo and Ogilisi, the man in Oba, have built a stadium without any assistance. Sports is dead in Anambra State. So I really don't know what they have done in the last 12 years, other than just getting money and sharing money and buying jeeps and growing nobody. So we have a serious fundamental problem of planning.
There is these frequent cries of federal government absence in the southeast. Let's talk about our Anambra State in particular. In Anambra State, do you share that view? And if you do, how do you plan to tackle the issue of federal government absence and introduce a state government presence that will be visible to all?
Let me give you a study I made. In Anambra State, if you look at the road network in Anambra State altogether, private individuals have been able to contribute at least 15% of road in Anambra, road network in Anambra State. Private individuals, either you from your gate to the third road or anything, private individuals. It shows that the people want leadership who can mobilize all these resources. Let's take, for example, one of the biggest cry we have is the Niger Bridge. What happens to regional integration? The 5 Igbo governors are not thinking. They think that government house is to stay there and blow alarm. It's for you to make out time and look for bright minds anywhere you find them so that we start thinking outside the box. If I'm governor, that Niger bridge will have a minimum of 10 lane toll. We forget federal government. Most of the road network we are using, which we call federal roads, are what they call trunk A roads of the colonial masters. There is no modern law about designating federal roads in Nigeria. I stand to be corrected. If the federal government refuses to build our road, what do? So we die. We take over the road and toll it. So what are we talking about? We need a leader that will not go and be lamenting and go. Is it crying to our mother? We must engage the federal government. If they are not doing it, we take over that road, do it better, and toll it. Anambra people are ready to give you assistance, to come up and work with you. But the leaders are dwarfs. They are afraid of bright people. They are afraid to consult. Do you know in this Anambra state that some rich men we are paying during P2B's administration, we are paying government millions to come and tar roads. Most of the roads today we have is courtesy of those members who were in the parliament. Go and find out. We have serious problem because we have refused to form a synergy as a people that feel that some people don't like us. Why can't we think and work together instead of competing? Government has been used for personal aggrandizement. Security vote, they take the money and down, go and buy pick-up for police and all this. We need to stop all this. We need to find good people that will think and overcome all those problems. Our energy problem could be overtaken. Look at the gas we have. The Orient Petroleum have no money and they are pretending. And the governor is there blowing siren instead of calling our people and tell them, look, this is our natural resource. Come, let us see how we can do it. You know, to go and call some few selfish businessmen to go and stay there like dog in the manger and nothing's happening. Look at EEDC. Our brother is there. Find money and give him so that he will buy power and distribute. So that he can buy all these transformers and all these things. That's what we need. We have light. The thing is that he is not financially capable to do it. But we have grabbed it, the trophy, we can grab it with two hands and give him assistance because he can now give sub-licenses to other people so that they can distribute power. You know, that's the only way people that are disadvantaged can overcome their problem. All this issue of infrastructure, sporting, Anambra is the last in sports. There's nowhere. I did not play long tennis in my age. My children have not played it. Their children will not play it because of short-sighted leaders that we had. Look at all over the place. Table tennis, volleyball, swimming, all those things. We have lost our history. We have lost our culture because of inept leadership. And you see all these mediocres going around telling you about zoning. This leadership is about choice. It's not a rank that you go and hang on somebody's peak. That's where we are today. Look at the man who is now the incumbent governor. APGA has no bank account. Where are they getting the money they are using to do campaign? INEC is sleeping. So who will rescue us until we decide to take back our community? And that's why I'm in this politics. After this election, it will no longer be the same.
Yeah. Sir, before I let you go, let me bring up this issue that Nigerians have cried to the highest heaven for rescue, and that is corruption. You made mention about government personnel sharing money here and there. Of course, we know that is a euphemism for corruption. So, sir, please, how do you plan to tackle corruption?
I'm the only candidate with the credential and the audacity to fight corruption and impunity in Anambra State. I challenge all of them. Look at all the candidates from A to Z. Find out the source of their wealth. Some of them just left office and they're running around for public office. They're very corrupt individuals that we should be in jail. So the most important thing we have to do is we must find out the source of your wealth. Parties, corruption is the worst thing that is killing Nigeria. Starting with our president, who borrowed 26 million or 27 million to buy a nomination form. Up till today, I don't know what he has done to pay back that loan. Where did you, is that an investment? So the current National Assembly have made a law that if you want to run for governor, you pay 5 million. They have not made any consequential law that you must also, as you buy that form, it must be commensurate with the tax you paid. So they are not ready to fight corruption. Buhari cannot fight corruption because he doesn't have the mechanics on how to fight corruption. Every day people are buying cars, building houses without bank loan, building hotels, building petrol stations, setting up all kinds of illegal businesses in the name that they are doing business, and government cannot do anything, and they are busy talking about how to go and borrow money. They are not thinking. Corruption is the root of bad government in Nigeria, and it starts with party corruption. I will, in Anambra State, set a template that Nigeria will borrow. You need a man with courage and high knowledge to fight corruption.
Well, before we go, I don't know if you have something else to tell us, to tell the people out there before we go.
The only thing I will tell people in Anambra State is how you make your bed is so you lie on it. It is your life that is at stake. If you feel that when they dance around and give you all these abada with their pictures, that it makes sense and that's what you hope for your children. Igbos have never been reduced to an infantile level.
Beggars.
That those who are serving you will put their picture on a piece of cloth and you wear it as license and walk in the street. I'm ashamed. We need a new leadership. We can't continue this way. Not for my grandchildren.
All right. Thank you, sir, for your time. We hope to call again when all must have been said and done. Okay.
You'll be at my inauguration.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time once again.
Thank you.
Hope to see you soon.